Hello, hello, good evening. This is Princess coming to you uh, from Canada. I am talking to you about a topic that has been overwhipped. So people have been talking about this nonstop. And I'm wondering, like, should I talk about this? Should I not? I thought about just letting it slide because I'm wondering if it's something that 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 is still space for me to talk about. So recently, on a group where I I am an admin, there was being topic about how do we know that we are with the right person? How do we know that we are marrying the right person? Now, from this Christian perspective, we will be examining how to know that you are marrying the right person. While we wait for other people to join us on this short video discussion, I'll introduce myself, Princess Ifukor. Been married for a couple of years now to a lovely man that I call my friend. Yeah, he's been my friend. I'll one day tell you about how I met this man and how we decided to marry each other. It's a very interesting journey. It's a journey of faith. We had to come into this marriage by faith because this is somebody I never knew before. And that would maybe answer the question of some people who are asking, like, can you marry somebody that you don't know? So while we get ready for our people to join us, we just listen to some song at the background while we wait for other people to join us. And I hope that you'll be blessed by this. And please feel free to go and subscribe to our channel, Princess Ifukor. Please like, share, and subscribe so that you can be alerted whenever we post new videos. So sheltered in the arms of God. Once you're sheltered in the arms of God, you have nothing to fear. I just putting this shelter in the arms of God while we wait for others to join us. Touch. You're welcome. So we're going to just jump into it. We have a couple of people who have joined us here. So let's start from the most simple way to know, okay, am I with the right person? First of all, marriage, let's remember that marriage is a union between two people who love each other and who have decided to commit to spend the rest of their lives together for better and for worse. And remember how Adam was alone and God, having put him in this Garden of Eden, he had everything at his disposal. But was he complete? You can answer that question. He wasn't complete. Adam was not complete. And he had the garden to himself. He had all the animals to name. He had done all that. He had a beautiful garden. He didn't have to labor as we do now. God had given him all the fruits to eat. He could eat anything he wanted to eat. But God found in his own discerning way, he found out that this man he had created is alone. He is lonely. So one of the things that you notice that happens in your life and you know that it's time for you to get married is that you are lonely. The loneliness starts. Okay, for a man, for a woman alike, it's okay to get to that point where you start feeling lonely. And that's just an indication that it's time for you to start to plan to get married. It's time for you to start to plan to find your better half, to have that person that you'd spend the rest of your life with. So God saw that Adam was alone, and God, in his own divine way, found a helpmeet for Adam, a wife for him. He made Adam to sleep, and after Adam slept, then he found he took a part of Adam, and with that he formed Eve. You can find out in Genesis, the beginning of Genesis, the first verses of Genesis. You see how God decided that he needed to get a wife for Adam in Genesis chapter 2 from verse 21 said that, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof, and the rib which the Lord God made the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Okay, so let's not read to spend too much time reading this. You can go ahead and read that on your own. But we see that God clearly went and got a part of Adam. So what does that tell us? It tells us that a woman is a part of a man. So, and that's why we call it your better half, someone that is part of you. And a part of you is something that's like you. Not well, God didn't take, God didn't divide Adam into two. He took a part of him and he used other stuff. Like he knows how he did it, known to God are all his works. So we were not told how God made woman like in all the steps, but we know that he took a part of Adam, and with that he formed Eve. So now let's go from the simple way, and we're going to have this kind of explanation in maybe a couple of videos because it's going to be too long to dwell on this to explain every step of the marital journey in one video. It will be a long video and it'll be too long. So we're going to make it really short, and we're going to talk about generally what would you say are the signs that you are with the right person. So sometimes the right person could be a friend of yours. It could be somebody that you have known before, you've known from time, somebody that's your acquaintance, and maybe a friend without benefit, like somebody that you've had a relationship with. Maybe you went to school together, maybe high school. It could be like family friends, like children of like your dad's friend or your mom's friend, someone that you've known before, you've grown to know, you've grown to like, you've grown to be free with, someone that you are accustomed to his ways, accustomed to how he lives his life. Like you know this person, okay? That's somebody that you know. And sometimes it can also happen with somebody that you do not know. Well, there should be some signs that you should be looking out for to ask yourself. That I'm not talking about praying. First of all, the most important thing to know the will of God in marriage, to marry the right person, is to pray. First, pray about it. I tell everybody, marriage is like a project. Okay, it's a project of a lifetime, the journey of a lifetime, because you get married to somebody and you spend more years with that person than you did with your parents. Just know people get married at what age? Maybe 23 for some people, 21, 20, and some people maybe they wait till 30. And how long? Maybe the marriage lasts until 73 years in marriage, 80 years in marriage, and so on and so forth. You realize that when you calculate that, you spend more time with this man that you did with your biological family, the family where you grew up. So marriage is a journey of a lifetime. So that's why you need to marry your friends, somebody that you know, or somebody that you grow to become friends with, somebody that you would spend time together, and enjoy being with. Okay, that's not to say that every marriage is smooth and without any problems. That's not true. That's a big fat lie. Okay, there's no marriage on earth that does not have its challenge. And that's because we're talking about two people from different families, from different lifestyle, from two different individuals coming together to become one and to live together under the same roof, in the same room, to share the same bathroom, to share more than just a bathroom, and to share their body, to live together as a couple, as one. So there's a time of adjustment. And that time of adjustment for some people might just be in the space of a year, and they've adjusted and they're fine. When problems comes here and there, it gets resolved quickly. There is also some other set of people who maybe the adjustment phase takes a longer time. It could be maybe more than 6 months, maybe more than a year. People differ. And so I don't believe in saying that because the marriage did not had a lot of challenges in the first few years of their starting out together, that marriage should be trashed. No, because I believe in second chances. You never know what will happen. You don't know how the tides will turn. You don't know what will happen in the life of these people, and they'll come together. And there's this adage that says, don't ever come between a man and his wife, because when they're going to settle their issues, you would be the third party in that relationship. Be careful with what you say to couples who are going through challenges, couples who are separated, because when they come together, you might become the devil. So be careful, be careful. Now let's go back to what we were talking about. Okay, what are the signs that you are getting married to the right person? After you have prayed and you have known the will of God, the question is, there's a time for you to court and to know each other. A time of getting to know this person. You wouldn't know the person 100%, as people can pretend, right? But if you have prayed and the Lord is leading you to this person, you know that God is in this. This is not me. There's a supernatural being, the one that knows tomorrow, the one that sees what I do not see, the one that knows the future and knows human beings more than you can ever imagine. That person is leading you. That person is guarding you. That person is directing you. That person is saying, yes, this is the way to go. Go. You're fine. You're fine. You're on the right path. Once you've gotten approval from God, and God has assured you that you are doing the right thing, my friend, if you have achieved that, that's the starting point. I say, tick. You pass the first mark once you're sure. And how do you know that God has told you and that this is the will of God? We'll talk about that in another video. For now, let's stick to what are the few signs that you see that makes you know that you are marrying the right person after you have prayed and you're sure that God is leading you. Number one, the question is, and these are things that can be solved, but you want to look at them as signals, warning signals. If these are not there, if you eventually get married, it might take a longer time for you guys to adjust. So you want to be sure about these few things. These are not, it's a non-exhaustive list, but I'm going to touch on a few things. Okay, this person enjoys spending time with you. You both enjoy time together. You enjoy doing things together. Okay, you have different things that you like, but you get to enjoy a few things that you can do together, or you enjoy, let's just put it this way, you enjoy being together. Okay, you enjoy this person's presence. You are happy when you hear the voice of this person. You might not have butterflies in your heart, as they say, but you like this person. You like this person. Okay, and you can also spend time apart, and it's fine. It does not tamper with your love. You love this person, and even when you are apart, you still love this person. Okay, so it's an abiding love that God puts in your heart, a holy love, a pure love, not a carnal love, not a kind of love that's just sensual, not just this kind of love that comes at the moment, and just when you see them, then you have the butterflies, and when they're not there, then you think about something else. If that's the case, you want to be careful, because you might be experiencing something that you need to check. Okay, you need to check the basis of that relationship. So another thing that you both need to work on is attentiveness. Okay, marriage requires time. You both need time for one another. Okay, marriage, there's no marriage that's built on lack of time. Like if both parties don't have time for one another, that marriage might be going towards a rock. It might just hit on a rock. So marriage requires time. You need to have to spend time together, no matter how short, how small, how little. You need to spend time together. Okay, and this is somebody that you trust. Okay, you have to be able to trust that person that you want to get married to. Okay, and there might be some bad attitude or some bad characters that you find with this person, as long as it's not so exaggerated. Don't expect people to change overnight. Don't expect people to just all of a sudden become somebody else, and they just become what you want them to be. So many women expect that. They think that when I marry him, it's okay. When I marry him, I'm going to change him. My dear, you're deceiving yourself. You can never, ever, ever change a man. You can never, ever, ever change a woman. Okay, you guys might come to a point where you adjust and make compromise, but you are not changing that person. You can't change a person. Only God, only the Most High God, the God that we serve, is the only one that can completely change a person. So for Christians out there, the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Be very careful. If you think that I'm going to marry this guy, he hits me, he yells at me, he smokes once in a while, he does this once in a while, and he's going to change. You are going for a disaster. Okay, don't wait for that to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If God doesn't change that person, it's not going to happen. If you're a child of God, you cannot be led by God to marry an unbeliever. You cannot be led by God to marry a non-Christian person. Okay, you cannot. The Bible says, can two walk together except they be agreed? If you're not agreed with this person, what are you doing together? You're going in different directions. He's going to Ontario, you're going to Quebec, or he's going to France and you're going to Germany. You're going different directions. You have different desires. When he wants to go to church, you want to stay at home. When she wants to go to on a journey, you want to go to the zoo. It's not going to work. Okay, so you need somebody that your purpose, your plans, your convictions are aligned. That alignment has to be there. It's something that you cannot, absolutely cannot do without. That is a very, very important thing. You need to be sure that this person that you're getting married to, you are 100% sure that he is a child of God. It's somebody that is a Christian, that shares the same belief that you share. Okay, birds of a feather flock together. So be very careful so that you don't get into this kind of marriage and you regret marrying this person. So whenever there is an issue, you should come to a point where you trust this person. I've talked about trust. You have to have trust, strong trust for this person. Okay, Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship. There's no relationship that will succeed without trust. Okay? Whether you trust them when they say they are here, or when they say they're going here, or when they say they are doing that, you should be able to trust your partner. Okay? You should be able to confide in them when you're upset, and trust that they're going to manage whatever information that you've given to them. And don't forget that people come into marriage with different baggages. Some people have some heavy pasts, right? And you should be able to trust that person, that whatever they've said is in their past remains in their past. Okay, and they should be able to trust you that whatever they are telling you about their past stays between you both, and they're not going to hear it over the rooftop. They're not going to hear it with your friends. They're not going to hear like the topmost secret things that they've kept to themselves. Your husband to be comes to you and say, I have this, I just want to share with you because I don't want to keep secrets from you, but I want to tell you about my past. And he tells you something that he has asked God to forgive him already, but it's past. It's something that you need to be told about, so that if ever something occurs in the future, you are able to say, yes, he told me about it, I knew about it. It's not a surprise to you. That's why it's important for both parties to be open. If there are some dark things about you, or about like dark things about you, you need to share it with your spouse. So you guys should not have any dark spots that are left untold, okay, in a couple, because you're going to live together, right? There shouldn't be secrets. Okay, there shouldn't be secrets. I shouldn't start finding out things about you after I got married. I shouldn't find out that you've had a child before after I got married to you. I shouldn't find out that you've had some very bad things. You've done some very bad things, and then I find out from people, because that's going to break trust. So that's why trust, your ability to trust that person and for that person to trust you, is essential to the success of your relationship. Okay, so those are, I'm going to brush over this and keep going. Okay, another thing is that you both have to be physically affectionate. You have to be affectionate. You have to love one another somehow or express it. I mean, there should be some love. Marriage is about love. If this man does not love you, or you don't love this man, or you don't express it, some people say, I love you, it's in my heart. No, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you that faith without works is dead. And show me your, yeah. So if you want to, you say that you love this person in your heart, this person is not going to come into your heart to find the love that you're expressing for them. They have to feel it. When I mean feel, I'm not saying touch one another. I'm saying that expressing the love, maybe by words or by action, the way you do, your action shows that you actually love this person and that you value this person, okay? And you have to be able to put one another first, okay? In every marriage, it's all about sacrifice. Okay, if I cannot put this person ahead of myself, then I'm not fulfilling the Bible's verse that says that you should love your wife as your own self. Okay, you should be able to love your spouse the way Christ loved the church, and Christ came to this world to die for sinners and to redeem the church, right? Jesus is the bridegroom that is coming back for his own bride. And Jesus loved us so much that he gave his life, okay? So I'm not saying that you should go on a suicidal mission for your spouse, for your wife, but you should show in your attitude, in your comportment, in your choices, in the decisions that you make, that you are putting your spouse first. And before marriage, you'll be able to come to this point where you think about it. You have conditioned your mind that this person that I'm coming into relationship with as a husband or a wife is going to be the number one person in my life. Okay, not that your mother first, your father, your siblings, and then your wife. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works. That equation is not the equation of God. It's not a balanced one. The equation that God gave us is that as soon as you get married, before you get married, you start thinking about it, you start planning it, you start considering it, that now that I'm getting married, my wife comes first. my husband comes first. And after my husband, then my kids. And after my kids, my family members and every other person that I love before I'm getting married, before I got married, comes afterwards. Okay. So you need to start showing, practicing it. And even after you marry, you need to show that you really love that person. There are actions that you can do to show that you love that person. Can you love somebody and let them suffer? Can you just sit down and allow your wife to sweat it out and do everything, and you're just there watching the TV? You're just there on your phone. You're just there going out with your buddies, and your wife is doing everything. That doesn't show that you love her. If you love your husband, you don't spend so much time on the phone with your girlfriends, with your, girls' time out. Yes, it's good to have girls' time out, but it doesn't mean that you should neglect your home. Your husband is your priority. Very important note: your husband, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your other half is your topmost priority. Okay. So saying that you love me or saying that you love them without showing it that you love them is not enough. Okay. So, and another thing is that when you fight productively, not destructively. So any relationship that you have misunderstandings, and the misunderstanding leads to hitting, banging, yelling, bullying, and you're scared when he gets annoyed, my friend, you need to check out that relationship. You need to run, because if this man has started to bully you and yell at you and shake and throw his fist out in the air and show some aggressiveness, I can tell you 100% that that thing is going to increase. It's not going to reduce. Be careful when you're with a man who is aggressive, and maybe he slapped you and he said it won't happen again, and he slapped you again, and you're saying, oh yeah, it's just because I did this. Oh, you're making excuses. Oh no, I think it's my fault. My dear, you're running, you're sitting on a time bomb. This person is aggressive. This person is not the right person for you. Be careful so that you don't get married and die in that marriage. Okay. So many ladies have lost their lives, and maybe men too, but it's mostly on the ladies' side. Many ladies have lost their lives because they felt the man is going to change. They kept giving excuses for him, and they're in a very abusive relationship, and they stayed there. And some of them, of course, we hear the stories, they're dead today. They didn't marry to die, but the choices that they made and the signals were there before they married that man. So be very careful. Whenever you see that this man that you say you want to get married to is so aggressive, or that you notice some kind of aggressiveness, you want to be very careful. Your relationship, you have misunderstandings during your courtship, and he start hurling insults at you. That's not good. That's a no-no. That's a lack of respect. It's insulting you, talking you down, and she insults you and she talks you down, and she uses her words to minimize you. I think that's a problem there. You need to talk about that, or you need to take time apart and decide if you're really on the right path, if you're really, really hard from God. So you need to always check yourself and ask yourself, am I still in the will of God? Always, because there's not only one will of God, guys. I must just be frank and bold with you. Look, you might have married this person, you might have been led to this person, and over time, this person had backslidden. Would you say you still get married to this person who has backslidden? Well, maybe you can as well wait until the person is restored before you marry the person. But I would say, I'll advise, okay, I'm not insisting, I'm not forcing anybody, but I will advise sincerely that you should pray. Go back to the drawing table. Go back and ask God, am I still to go on with this? Are you still here? Or are you telling me to go another way? Always go back to God to check. Go back to him. He is the right place to go. Go back to the drawing board. Ask God, am I still on the right path? Okay? Do not ever forget to go back to God. If God is leading you and you're sure that God is leading you, you should be able to get assurance from God that you are still on the right path. So for today, I'm going to stop here. Next time, we're going to talk about other things that we should be looking forward to. Thank you so much for staying with me. Again, it was Princess, and coming to you from Princess Ifuko channel. Thank you so much, and I hope that you have a nice time and that you really enjoyed this short clip. So, sheltered in the arms of God. Remember, you are always sheltered in the arms of God. Yes. Sheltered safe within the arms of God. So let the storms rise, the dark clouds rise. They won't worry me, for I'm sheltered safe within the arms of God. He walks with me, and no other shall harm me. For I'm sheltered in the arms of God. Thank you and have a nice time. Have a nice evening. Thank you for coming to this corner. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to upload more videos about this relationship clips. We need to really examine what we mean by getting married to the right person. Thank you so much and have a nice one. It's Princess. Thank you. Bye.